Hi, I'm Jackie with Yoga with Jackie. Thank you for joining me for this mindful movement today. And today's mindful movement is really going to be just a little bit of movement and a lot of rest. I am going to share with you something that a teacher friend of mine calls Hot Cross Buns, and it's a very appropriate name, I think. You'll need 2 blankets for this practice, or 2 towels, bath-sized towels. And the idea is that we're going to stretch the side hip muscles, glute med and glute min. We're going to stretch the lower back and stretch the belly. You can choose to stay as long as you want in any of the positions. I'm going to take a little bit of time just to show you, and then it'll be based on what you need for how long you decide to stay. Go ahead and find those 2 blankets or towels, and you'll fold them into a rectangle. So the higher or the thicker your blankets are, the more intense you might feel the posture. So you'll have to decide for yourself, how thick do you want your blankets? Once you have your blankets folded, you'll take 1 blanket, place it across the middle of your mat, take that other blanket and place it over the mat. And this is where you'll see that we're talking about hot cross buns. There's the cross right there. Now, my blankets are a little thick, and this may not work for you, but for video's purposes, it will help you to see what's happening. You might not want them to be this thick or this high. As we get started, we'll start on our back, and you'll come to sit on the edge of that first blanket. We'll be coming into an extension of the spine, back bend. You might find that you want to do a little warming up, like 6 stretches of the spine before you come into this. So listen to your body and do what feels best for you. From here, you're going to lower down. You can see where the back bend's happening at my lower back, and then bring the head down. It's also a little bit of an inversion. The arms come out at your sides wherever it's comfortable, and your knees can stay bent, or the legs can go long. You decide where you'd like to be, what's most comfortable. If you get down here and you feel like you don't want to have such of an inversion, you can put a blanket or even a block underneath your head to support your head a little more. You want to make sure there's no pinching or pulling happening in your lower back. And to release some of that, it might just be that you need a lower cross for the first few times that you do this. I'd invite you to stay here for anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, or what feels comfortable for you. When you're ready to come out, you'll hug your navel in. So you're creating some strength around the abdominal wall and for the lower back. Bend your knees to bring the feet flat to the floor. And then we'll be moving into the other side, into side lying. You just go from here over onto your side. So now your hip is tucking up close to where the 2 blankets come together. And then you'll lower down over the blankets. You can keep your knees bent here. So you might start to feel some stretch at the side hip. For more stretch, you might take your legs straight out. And then you can even, if you're not too wobbly, take that arm over your head. Now for some people, this doesn't create a lot of stretch. For others, it creates quite a bit of sensation or lengthening across the top hip. You can even move yourself so that your hip is right on top of the cross and then lower down. So always ways to modify or create more length or stretch in the body. So again, you'll stay here for your 1 to 3 minutes, whatever feels good for you. If you're unbalanced, you can always bend that bottom knee and leave the top leg straight. After you've been here for the period of time, you'll want to turn onto your belly. So using your top hand, the abs engage again. You'll roll over onto your belly, and this time you're looking for your hip bones to be at the lower end of where the 2 blankets cross, so that your bum is up in the sky. Just this posture alone can help to release back pain. So you'll find that position that feels good here. 1 hand on top of the other, forehead to the floor, or you can turn your head to the side, whichever feels better for you. This is a great place to notice back body breathing, legs relaxed. When you're finished on this side, of course, we're going to do the other side. And so that I don't have my back to you, I'm going to just press up carefully, turn myself around. For you, you can just roll over onto the other side and then decide, hip up on the blankets or slightly below. Lowering down, stretching out. This is where you might discover one side of you is very different than the other. I always feel more intensity on this side. After your 1 to 3 minutes here, you'll bend the knees in, press the hand into the floor, and slowly bring yourself up to a sitting position. Take a few breaths here. You might not like to sit with your legs behind you. You might just sit with your legs out in front of you, or whatever's comfortable. You decide. And then just kind of notice, what do your side bodies feel like? What do your hips, back, and belly feel like here? Thanks for joining me for this mindful movement with just a little bit of movement.